Does anyone have a question? You know, yesterday or the other day, Tabitha sent me a photograph of a caterpillar on a plant in her garden. And, caterpillars become butterflies. And in truth, most of us are really caterpillars trying to get strong enough to develop certain kind of cocoon that we can be born out of and become a butterfly. To be able to have the freedom to explore life, to explore whatever areas of life we live in, and to, enhance our realities, to come alive. Butterflies undergo a metamorphosis. Caterpillars undergo a metamorphosis. We also undergo a metamorphosis. And that metamorphosis enables us to truly find that butterfly in us, which is really a symbol or a metaphor for a spiritual life. So nobody should sell themselves short. I'm a caterpillar, I'm a this, I'm depressed, I'm unhappy. Understand all of it is part of a process of learning how to get free of oneself, how to transform oneself into a butterfly. Intuitively, caterpillars know they have to eat to get nourishment, to get strong enough to undergo that metamorphosis. These meditation classes are a place to come and eat. And what we're eating, is not vegan or meat or this. It's Shakti, it's energy that is so essential for us to build an inner life so that we can undergo that metamorphosis from a person that's, like a lotus flower in muddy water to a person that is a lotus flower spreading its petals to greet the sun. Or I should say, a seed in muddy water that blossoms into a lotus flower that can open and embrace the sun. So we should never put ourselves down. We should never denigrate ourselves, because it's just a process of what every human being must go through in order to finally become that butterfly. And as that butterfly in Tabitha's garden is eating a plant, to get the strength to undergo the transformation, we're eating Shakti, we're consuming Shakti energy to build a system inside that enables us to undergo the transformation, from the lowest, sometimes the depths of humanity, to being able to embrace the sun, to embrace God, to embrace spirit, to get free of unhappiness, depression, insecurity, guilt, fear, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Does anyone have a question they would like to? I hope it's clear, because people always have tendencies to denigrate themselves. They go through a bad time, a sore spot, something difficult, something they don't like, opens up their emotional stuff, and they begin to beat themselves up. Why am I going through this? Well, you're a caterpillar. You got to go through whatever it takes to go through. Just keep eating the Shakti, and it will get you to the other side. And there's nothing wrong with being a caterpillar. There's nothing wrong with recognizing that one has situations they have to get free of, that one needs to truly go through a metamorphosis. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? And just to finish this, it's not unhealthy to undergo a metamorphosis. It's not unhealthy to accept that one is a caterpillar trying to get strong enough to undergo change. What's unhealthy is denialism, denying who we are, what we are, creating a fantasy about ourselves, living in a dark world inside that we think is never going to go away. I mean, this is unhealthy, but recognizing this is what I have to go through. This is the test of me as a human being. And then consuming the food, the Shakti, the energy that makes it possible to undergo the transformation. I know what happened with, Rudy, where I went through a period that was so dark while I was studying with him. And I was so unhappy and this and that. And finally I just took a hold of myself and said, Stuart, this is what you have to get free of. And I really began to, and Rudy was constantly beating the hell out of me. You're a schmuck, you're a this, you're a that. I don't know why I ever took you as a student. And I could understand it. I was going through a really difficult time. And because I was recognizing what was wrong in me, something I had never been willing to confront before, and something I had never been willing to change before. And I hid from when I was younger. And there it was, smacking me in the face. And it was very difficult. And I remember when I finally got to the other side of it, my whole breathing changed. The way I saw life changed. The confidence, the stability in me changed. Everything changed. And instead of Rudy calling me a schmuck, he gave me a big hug one day. He said, "You're the best student I have. You really learned what I have to teach." So schmuckdom came to an end. Why? Because I grew past it. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? And the only way I got past it was such a profound need to have a spiritual life. And I knew in order for me to have a spiritual life, I had to fulfill my humanity. I had to get my heart open. I had to feel love, unconditional love. I had to feel forgiveness for the things I saw people doing around me and the things that I used to do. And the need to have a spiritual life enabled me to work deep enough on myself to undergo the metamorphosis. The caterpillar became a butterfly. Does anyone have a question? I hope it's clear what I'm talking about. I don't know if I can get it any simpler. You know, we're all a bunch of caterpillars. No matter how much you grow in life, you're still a bloody caterpillar, having to work past yourself, having to grow, change, take on more responsibility, transform your inner life into a higher state of consciousness. And there's nothing wrong with that. only a problem with that if you beat yourself up and you can't accept that you have work to do on yourself. Does anyone have a question? No questions today. Okay. All right, so enjoy Sunday. Have a great day, a great evening if you're in Israel, and God bless you all. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone on Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. Bye.